Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Civilization VII, where I have spent a little bit of time crawling the UI here, just trying to dig into some things. First of all, I do note that when we mouse over these tiles, they do have formal road. You know, in some 4X games, you get like multiple levels of road, like it creates a path between your settlements, but it's not a road until some later unit formally goes over it or whatever. So I didn't want to assume, but when we mouse over this, it does say road. So I wasn't paying close enough attention to see if we gained 50 culture and 100 gold when we put the city down, which is what caused the new town down, which is what caused the road to pop into existence, because obviously a lot was going on at that moment. But it does seem like at the very least we should be able to trigger that bonus just by settling again, and that's a thing we can test real soon, because I sure would love to grab this little space between these two rivers. It's very dense with resources, and I'm for sure worried about what's his name? I'm coming to get it. Lafayette. The other thing that I spent some time looking at here was the legacy path UI. So I think the pagination on these things is a little bit weird. Like, we completed the first step in the science tutorial, basically, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's clear enough that this doesn't actually establish any progress on this bar. The only thing this bar is actually tracking is the display of 10 codices in your empire. And if we look at the ranking screen here, I think this makes it a little bit clearer. Like, all that other stuff is kind of around the edges. You're being told that things are important because they're tutorial steps on the way to getting wonders or getting codices or whatever. But this is what's actually being tracked. 7 world wonders, 12 towns or cities where conquered settlements count as 2, display 10 codices, assign 20 total resources to your settlements. And you can see here how we're doing against all the other players. We're not in the lead, that's for sure. This one, nobody's earned any legacy points yet. I gotta say, I'm not 100% sure about the way this UI works, with the bars being different links based on people's names. This feels like a very unfinished user experience to me as a person who worked in UX briefly, but I don't know. It's not a big deal. I think it's just something to get used to, right? So now that we have a clearer sense of that, we have these pages here that are just like with the science thing. It's build a library, get writing to, and then eventually mathematics and the academy. But the point is actually to get codices. So you both need to get them and have a place to house them, which is what it's trying to build you up toward. And I guess we're going to see one soon, because our writing 2 does grant us one. And then the other big thing was Sparta. I think we're going to try to turn Sparta into a full city. It being a growing town is cool and everything, but we're pretty close to this convert to city thing. It has a fair amount of industry output itself, and I sure would love to be able to build stuff here and build stuff in the capital while also saving up gold to rush purchase things. So I think that's kind of the short-term plan. We also, we really need to get a little bit of military together so we can run off these Champa units, and I still want to, like I said, settle forward a little bit more, so we got a lot ahead of us. Okay, fortifications completed in Sparta. Is that because I garrisoned a unit? Hold up. Fortifications? Civilopedia, you want to help me? Okay. Yes. Unit gains a +6 combat strength bonus when defending. Okay. I do wish that there was a clearer, combat strength value for the city itself or something like that, like they've had in previous games, where it's just a number that's very easily visible. But information clarity on the whole seems to be a not ideal here. How does one heal a unit? Also, I have no idea if I'm going to leave them fortified for a second here and see if they start picking up health. I have no idea if there are combat bonuses for, adjacent units working together or flanking or whatever. We'll just wander out here and get into some trouble.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Okay, so we don't have any direct military improvement policies. I think I'm cool holding on to the ones we have here for the moment. Now, as far as our special powers go, infantry units receive +3 combat strength when attacking. They're in a forest, but they're also injured already. So theoretically, I definitely want to do this from the north. Yeah, that was a pretty healthy chunk of damage, and our warrior is healing quite quickly at this point. And some narrative is occurring. Xerxes' subjects have taken to calling him Shahanshah, the King of Kings. Yet the courtiers that gather daily to sing his praises will not be outdone. Truly, he is Ahura Mazda, the god of fire. Okay. So we're about to start a quest to either have 2 monuments or have 2 altars. Or is there value in humility? What if I didn't try to prove that I was Ahura Mazda, the god of fire? I mean, we're already working on 1 altar. Let's back down from that. Listen, I'm merely the greatest king of all the kings in the world. I think that's a level of humility that we can aspire to. So, 2 altars. We have enough gold now to purchase cityhood for Sparta, Sparta, but do I think it would be wise to... Well, we're only making 40 gold per turn. The thing is, if we buy the altar here, it'll complete Shahanshah, which will give us a bunch of gold. Like, I am wondering about maybe we just buy the altar and then upconvert Sparta afterward. Now, I wanna get it actually producing. Let's go ahead and just hit the button. Okay, yeah, look at the total lack of flash on that stuff getting accomplished. Oof. All right, we definitely need to improve the industry output of this city a little bit. So let's build a brickyard, and then we'll do the other things. So probably doesn't matter where. I don't know that I want to build it over the oasis. We'll do it here. All right, so we need a new civic target. So we have picked up our code of laws. Mastering code of laws would give us access to a unique diplomatic endeavor. This is a building that has to be constructed, which will then give us access to a unique diplomatic endeavor. I do kind of like this this system of deals and bonuses negotiable based on the stuff you've built. That's I think pretty neat. We learned the ability to make merchants, and we got a merchant for free with Code of Laws, which is rad. Bonus production toward infantry and ranged units obviously is pretty good. Combat strength for fortified districts. I'm looking at all these civics and trying to find the really exciting ones. Where are the civics that help us build wonders, you know? Probably not in organized military. Although that does improve our settlement limit. That's interesting. +2 support on all wars. +2 food in all settlements is a pretty good policy. We would not build this wonder, but I do not hate that policy. I wonder if we should hit that. So citizenship would give us a cultural festival that continuously generates culture equal to 25% of the city's production. So it says cultural festival, but I think this is a thing you put in the production queue, right? It's different from a celebration, although they could maybe word them a little bit more clearly. Okay, so Mastery of Citizenship grants a bonus to Wonder Construction. That seems useful. If action accepted, permanently increase the number of trade routes you can establish with a civilization. So these are, the ones with the flags are things you do with other leaders, right? Why would there be a, okay. I think I want to lean in the direction of citizenship, even though it is a very distant thing. We have a trade opportunity. Athenai, part of the Greek Empire, is overflowing with valuable commodities and 2 resources. Thriving markets are a sign of thriving societies. In order to strengthen our own, we should dispatch a merchant to negotiate a trade agreement. Okay, I would love to do that. We will totally get on that. And it's sad resource assignment available, but I guess just because Sparta became a city. Oh, right, because, yeah, we got the free merchant. Should we move to a foreign settlement to establish a trade route? Seems pretty good. Okay, so a sea route. Yeah, that seems fine. How do I confirm that that's the, there's not a button. I would like this one, please. Double click. No? Okay. Nope, that just moves it in a... Well, that's... Okay. It's a little weird that there's this UI for trade routes. It seems like you want to like lock something in on this screen, but there's no button to do so. Again, the UI work here it feels really unfinished.
The spoken word conquered.
Okay, let's see about generating combat bonuses or anything. Like, do we have anything? No, we get our +3 for being the attacker. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have any kind of coordination-based bonuses at this point in the game. All right, 1 hostile unit down. That'll show them. And then... Yeah, that did consume our unit's movement, but it left the prospective movement UI up until we selected it and unselected. Okay, so Great Works, including the codex you earned, are managed here in the Great Works screen. You need to slot them in your cities to benefit from their effects. And we apparently had a slot in the palace, so +2 science. Okay. Archive in the center shows all Great Works that are not slotted. And on the right, you can see the settlements and their available slots. You'll need to revisit the screen to move it or slot more codices. And do they all do the same thing, or is it just like, are they random? Hard to say. But cool, we got ourselves a codex. So now... Masonry will give us bonus production. And then here we can get another level of production. So obviously, if we're trying to pursue this wonder thing, being able to build stuff, pretty important. +2 production specifically on military buildings. It seems like there's a lot of opportunities to gain codices. I guess I'm going to gain animal... I'm going to grab animal husbandry. +1 production on camps and woodcutters. +1 food on pastures. The saw pit. On our way to other stuff. It seems like masonry and irrigation are both pretty worthwhile. Just like going wide on the tech tree here instead of tall. So yeah, I mean, he is just like running his merchant over to me, right? This is probably the right thing, but it's just a weird UI deal. So we don't actually know where this... never mind. Where this settlement is, I was about to say. I wonder how many military units it is going to take to get these guys to calm down. Lafayette seems to be loving us. Although we got -2 from his agenda here, is what it's actually pointing out, because we do have probably the fewest quarters, on account of I haven't built any quarters and also don't know what they are. I mean, one assumes they're essentially districts from the last game, right? Okay, so they do have an army commander here. Unmet player has completed a milestone for the Great Library. Okay. Our cultural exchange has run out. And yeah, we're 25% of the way toward completing this age, says some parts of the UI. So I'm going to step you over here. Step you down adjacent to that. Have you just rest here until healed? Alright, so I do wish that, like, shouldn't you tell me who this was with so that I can renew it, if that makes sense? We've unlocked an espionage action. Espionage actions are taken secretly against other civilizations. If all goes well, the target will know that the action has happened, but won't know who was responsible. But they're risky. They always have a chance of being revealed, and sometimes have a chance of failing altogether. If your action is revealed, your target will know, yeah, obviously that will be not great. Unlike other diplomatic actions, espionage actions have an ongoing influence cost you must maintain. If you suggest someone, or if you suspect someone might be targeting you with an espionage action, you can use counterspying to thwart their plans. Okay. So we have the ability to attempt to steal technological advancements. And given the difficulty level we're on, I'm sure the other players have lots of cool techs that we don't have. So that's interesting. If action accepted, permanently increase the number of trade routes you can establish with the other civilization by 1. I do like permanent bonuses. I also like get me more culture. And you like me more than anybody else. So it feels like you're the one who is most like... darn it. My, my twitchy hand. Right-clicking is the universal back out of this screen button in this game. And it's a little awkward for me. So if I'm going to steal technological advancement, let's not steal from him. Both because he's, close to us and could potentially retaliate, and because things are going well in this relationship. Now we see one of Ibn Battuta's cities nearby as well. We don't have super direct contact with Isabella, so if we're gonna steal from somebody, I feel like it should be Isabella. Okay, and it just launches that without telling you what the ongoing upkeep cost is. Yeah, real bad UI stuff. I don't know that we need to do anything else right now. No sense in giving other players gold by improving trade relations until we actually need the trade routes, right? Well, maybe we should back up and play a little bit of defense. Okay, we finished our altar. Again, I do think like it would be nice to have a, you know, what I was just doing, what I just built thing here. I think we're going settler next because I really do want to grab this. Do I need to turn somebody around? What does it cost to purchase a military unit? Yeah, no, I know how production queues work. Do I just not have the ability to do that? It would seem that I just do not have the ability to do that. So it takes 2 turns to build a warrior here. I guess... let's bump that up to the most important item. And see, here I really want to get that altar done for obvious reasons. Yeah, here's hoping I'm not being too cavalier about the military situation. Yep, dismiss. Okay, so if we wanted to attack here, we suffer a minor defeat, but like that's a minor defeat that leaves us on very poor health. It's not too hard to kill their commander. So I guess we'll step around here and we'll try that. Obviously, removing this dude would be a pretty big deal. Okay, that feels significant, right? Yeah, there's absolutely no benefit to like surrounding enemies, it seems like. Weird. Do I want to accept this local festival? I think we're in a place where I'd rather have happiness than influence. We're generating a fair amount of influence per turn. Although doing that does leave me in a position where I could not support a diplomatic move if somebody made one, so maybe that's a bad sign. Alright, so what exactly is going to happen if he attacks Sparta here? Okay, so this UI is a little... Alright, move them onto the city, then press the make trade route button. Alright, trade route has been created. We'll reward the player who initiated it with a copy of each resource in the other player's settlement. In return, the other player receives gold every turn. So we should have some resources allocation available here. Yeah, Jade seems pretty good in Parsa. And a narrative choice. A new green stone called Jade flows into the market via new trade routes, quickly becoming a popular adornment for weapons thanks to its hardness. Superstitious folks say the Jade ensures triumph. We could commission a victory blade or study this and push our tech along. Where are we at on our celebration? We're 14 turns out at the rate of 25 per turn. So plus 28 per turn. So plus 25 is actually only going to be, or plus 50 is only like 2 turns worth of progress on that. Let's take the science boost. Satisfied at last, the writer sets down their quill. They have spent countless hours writing down words only to scratch them out and rewrite them. But all will be worth it if just one reader finds joy in this text. This is a weird little narrative event that's happening like some number of turns after we researched writing, and it concerns somebody, and what a strange little thing. I mean, one must write every day to improve. We could pick up a codex. We don't have a place to show it off yet, but gaining one seems more useful than a bunch of influence. So now if we go to our Great Works menu, okay. Yeah, maybe they all are mechanically identical. Okay, so do they attack? They're just kind of running around.
Caged bird watches butterflies with envy.
You can say those faster. It's okay. Yes, that's right, Lafayette. I don't know that I need a bright red notification that the thing you agreed to last turn is happening now. All right, irrigation gets us a bonus settlement limit. Let's pick up masonry next. Any kind of bonus production, I think, is a thing we're concerned with. It's true that there's nowhere to display this codex. All right, and we're healing, and we're getting mauled down here, and it's not telling us when that's happening, which is not great. I do not. Again, there are things about this UI that I think really need to be fixed. Okay, slingers are a ranged unit that apparently have actual range in this game. That was not the case in the previous game, right? Where slingers were a single tile ranged unit. Okay, it feels to me like we should probably fall back a little bit. So all these units are from Champa. Yeah, okay, let's fall back. Let's engage in some proper defense of Sparta. We can try to burn Champa down later. Although actually, I mean, this unit's just dead, right? So yeah, maybe I need to be focused on building more military units, but I definitely do want to get the altar and the settler done first. Okay, we did lose a guy. Hi there, Ibn. I can't help but notice that you are running all up into my territory. Ranged units like the Slinger have the ability to attack from more than one tile away. Yeah, that is bad news for me. So there's really no way to... Okay, there's a separate purchase tab. You know what, let me... Yeah, it's weird that you can't combine them. So, is it the same prices to buy stuff in Sparta? Sorry, not that. This. Yeah, okay, we can just buy some military units. Let's do exactly that. Once again, very, like, absolutely no feedback when you do things. Really sucks. I am wondering if I should just purchase the settler to make sure I get to where I get my settlement down before what's his name shows up. I think I'm going to. And then we'll build military units for a second here. Am I allowed to purchase a... Oh, well, I can't. It won't show me my purchase options because we couldn't purchase something right now because there's a guy sitting in the city. What I was going to ask is, can we purchase commanders? But I guess what I will do here is just start building one, and then we'll rely on gold for new military units for a bit because it would be nice to have a commander again. You can draw a little bit of blood. Wow, that really did not work out in our favor. All right, well, not much for it, unfortunately. Ibn Battuta is at least being harassed by these foes, so hopefully that'll keep him off of my resources. Settlers are naturally quite fast, it seems like. So hopefully we won't have to actually like advance any military units to defend those guys. Just have you rest until healed. Okay, we have some defensive forces in place. We're more able to defend here. Cowards are backing down, and the Damas River has flooded, which we get news about without knowing anything about the Damas River itself. Okay. So, the game's trying to tell us that settling on the flat plain here would be ideal. Let me turn on the yields overall here. I guess things are a little bit rough if you're settling toward the salt, because the salt's going to be like the only obvious source of food. But I definitely want to settle in a place where I can grab more resources than that. The iron is probably something Lafayette's going to end up in control of. You can see he's got a lot of the tiles that are 3 away from his home court here. But I can set myself up to grab this cluster at the very least, and the gold that we're standing on, obviously. Yeah, I think I want to cross the river before I actually settle. Alright, that's enough of y'all. A soldier returns with a harrowing tale. A unit wandering the sands, ever chasing a sparkle of lakes seen just over the next hill. Then the next, and the next. We're familiar with the concept of a mirage now. I guess that's an event that doesn't happen if you don't have deserts around. Alright, population growth. I mean, there's another resource out here. And fishing boats seem to be the way to go for us. Alright, so that's just plus happiness. I mean, there's no reason for it not to be in Parsa, right? Okay, so this is also reading as a close to a friendly site, abundant resources nearby. I mean, it feels to me like this is the spot, though. There's like, what separates these two? There's 2 food available in the first ring from here, which is also true of that tile. Standing on some gold right now, so like this tile has a little bit less access to food, but only a little, and it's still adjacent to a river. I don't know, this tile seems like a good one to me. I'm gonna put down the city here, or the town rather. Next turn. Farmers market diplomatic action has completed. Okay, this dude absolutely loves us now. That's interesting. It's good to have friends. So purchasing the next warrior would be... Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get that done now so that we can start moving them forward. And construction on the altar continues apace. All right, so let's form a nice wall here. Okay, you can actually attack right now. Yeah, next thing is, after this guy finishes healing, next thing is another settler, or another slinger, and then I think we should be in good position to really push back quite hard on any offense we see. All right, this is probably going to annoy Lafayette because we really are settling into him pretty bad here. Bonus production toward unit training for sure goes in Parsa. This is another like weird UI where it's like you have to click on the thing and then click on the slot it goes into. Why doesn't dragging work? It's not a big deal. Again, a lot of this stuff it's a lot of things that are like not really a big deal. Yeah, minus 20 points. That's pretty harsh. That said, there's a lot of positive factors on this relationship. We can get through this. I believe in us. All right, so something cool just happened. We did reach the settlement limit. And there's lots of ways to play with that. Isabella just established a new trade route to us, so 12 gold, hooray. Buy open markets action has completed. Isabella completed a milestone for Silk Road. Oh yeah, okay. So I guess maybe we don't need a second one? It was not clear to me that our general was going to respawn. Our settlement of Raga stands unguarded in these dangerous times. Yeah, but it's also not actually drawing enemy hostility as far as I can tell. So let's move you up to here. Have you kill that guy. And that lets the slinger step forward and pre-sling our enemies. Okay, so then Parsa doesn't necessarily need to be doing this, but what if we just have two of them? I'm not necessarily opposed to that. I do think I'm going to go ahead and purchase the one extra unit. Maybe I'm overcommitting to the war effort, but having two ranged units just seems wise. Low happiness. Raga is brimming with discontent and productivity is flagging. Okay. Well, we can fix that. What if we reassign our dice? Is there a way? I thought you could unassign stuff. Maybe not. Okay, well, we'll get it figured out. We will get it sorted. Let's go talk to Lafayette real quick here. How would you feel about... Okay. Accepted, not reinforced. Okay, so yeah, there's not... I feel like I have to watch everything happen super carefully because of the fact that the feedback around the military actions is so weak. May as well just finish y'all off. Alright, let's go show Champa who's boss. Gonna pick up another tile here, and this one cannot be a resource. We can put a clay pit on the oasis, which I guess is a good idea. Was the clay pit one of the things that's affected by the I can't just mouse over this and get a definition of brickyard again. Is there a place here to see? Okay, city details, buildings that already exist. Definition of brickyard. Nope. Okay. That's a little annoying. the breakdown for our production is this is what's from your income. Okay, hold on. Raga doesn't have one yet. Okay, it does give bonus production on clay pits. So that would be a helpful little boost. Okay, I think we're doing okay work here. We're about to prove how Shahansha we are.
The essence of all beings is the earth.
Is this the moment to pop a thing up
earth
over the middle
water.
of my screen? Stuff is happening. Okay, so Ibn has completed an action. Isabella did not notice that we stole her irrigation technology. Pretty rad. Okay, so I think we're all okay. The river flooded its banks, but it doesn't seem to have affected by units in the area. This will use all of your movement, right? So you can't also sling. Right. Wait, is this warrior wounded? I know this one is. Yeah, okay, the little health bars could be more obvious. I like this, is like splitting them over the fronts. It does make it clear, I think, pretty clear that things are going badly for them. This archer's already going to be able to shoot me. So I guess the question is, like, this is the only unit that should be in range. If we back up... Yeah, I guess it's probably the thing to do, except... Well, except I don't really want to. Let's see what happens. We'll approach, see how well we are able to threaten them. And we got a migrant. Was that from completing irrigation? Is that what did that? +1 settlement limit. Okay. Not sure where I got this migrant from. Do we want to... I think I'm actually going to run him over to Raga and then add the point of population there just to help grab more resources. The migrant as a point of population that can be directed to the city of your choice is actually a cool idea. Okay, they're simply disengaging. Age progress increases a small amount every turn, but will also increase by larger amounts when a milestone is completed, a future tech or civic is researched, or a leader is defeated. Oh, that's interesting. Once the meter is completely filled, the Antiquity Age will give way to the Exploration Age, and all leaders will enter an age transition. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I have an eye on the legacy paths. Okay, that war's over. Soldiers pray before the altars of Xerxes. Through his divine guidance, they will find only victory. We did it. We're the Shahansha. So... Again, bonus production feels pretty significant. Let's put up a saw pit just kind of over here in one of these nondescript river areas. Okay, so the archer came out of the city. I do feel like we got to seize on that. Even if we are fighting, you know, uphill into a forest or whatever. Let's finish you off. And then from here, I think I can just hit Champa, right? Do we attack it, or is the deal that I would move into it? I'm gonna leave the slinger where they are. since attack does not... Yeah, attack was not lit up. So if I organize an army... I'm still not clear on how this organized army bit works. Like, if we run a bunch of dudes together in this same stack... What does that really do, and does it effectively prevent us from using the ranged attack of our slinger? Questions to answer next turn when people have movement points again. Alright, we are continuing to build things that matter.
He was the first to construct a wall, 80 miles in length, which was to separate the barbarians from the Romans.
Okay, we can build monuments now, which is cool. Happiness measures your people's satisfaction with you. Settlements send excess happiness. After enough has been accrued, you get a celebration. To earn happiness, settle near fresh water. Slot resources that grant it. Construct happiness buildings and wonders. Yep. We're still only -1 here. I'm sure we'll be okay. We'll get there. So I kind of feel like I want to build over the gold here, although... Production toward wonders. This is just gold toward purchasing buildings. Yeah, let's start with that. Mastering masonry gives us +1 production on every production building. Which certainly, you know, seems useful. We get some siege units. You get access to our immortal. Access to my immortal. You know what? Let's master masonry for that +1 on all production buildings, and then we'll move up like that. Is it still complaining about Raga? Because I think Raga's fine. Our settlement of Sparta stands unguarded. I don't know if that's true. I feel like we have a lot of people around here. Yeah, it's not... So we don't... Units can move after unpacking. We already have this initiative bonus. I can't attack directly. So is putting an army into... Is putting units into an army just a movement thing? It's just about giving them coordination? Yeah, you know, everybody gets to move together. That's... I see how that's useful, I suppose. It's a little bit weird. Alright, so you'll step over to here. Am I also giving, like, an aura of effectiveness? Or, like, in the previous game... In the previous games in the series... military commanders have improved the effectiveness of nearby units. And it's not clear to me if that's also a thing here. Alright, Champa's got to be running out of units, right? I'm allowed to just step right up onto you. We can finish the job here. Generating lots of XP for our commander, hooray. Trade maps with Ibn Battuta. He definitely can see a lot of things that we can't see. You know what? I'm into it. And I guess that'll actually happen next turn. Cultural exchange has been completed. We can't put forward another such thought just yet. Hit a celebration here. I think we are in a moment of building construction, so let's take that as a celebration bonus. And oratory, we don't have any scouts right now, and we aren't likely to in the next 10 turns. So how does one, like, actually... I can disperse this independent. Okay, that was a big deal. Your Hazarapatis has earned enough experience from combat to get a promotion. Earning our second promotion since we got one for free because unique unit stuff. Okay, so the command radius is a thing that does exist. We don't know what it is or what it's doing by default, but here's a way to improve it. When attacking, Oh, okay, one of them only affects melee, the other one only affects ranged. Your commander has access to many different promotions. Each unlocks a new ability or skill your commander can use on the battlefield. Let's have a look at some of these other ones. So bonus yields in a settlement when stationed on a district. That's cool. Doesn't seem like it has... This tree seems very kind of all over the place. Also, I don't love the way the tooltips are constantly bouncing in and out. Land unit defenses... Complete fortifications 1 turn faster. That's kind of cool. +2 combat strength for land units stationed on a district. So yeah, this is very defensive. I mean, I kind of think we want to go assault. Faster reinforcement for this commander. Land units within the command radius gain bonus healing. That does seem useful. Terrain combat bonuses are doubled and infantry units can move and attack through cliffs with commando training. This commander can ignore terrain movements when packed, so you can use your enhanced logistics to get your units to places more quickly. That seems really useful too, honestly. I think I'm going to pick up bonus combat strength for the infantry units, especially because obviously combat strength is a form of survival for them. Strength is best measured by the skill of its use. Wisdom sharpens power's blade. +1 militaristic attribute point. You've earned your first leader attribute point. These let you customize your leader to fit your playstyle. Okay. So there's an attributes button. Oh, okay. We got skill trees. Some points are for specific attributes. Wild cards could be spent anywhere. So this is 6 different skill trees. Okay. Combat strength against independent powers and city-states, or 1 free support on all of your wars. I don't feel like we necessarily need a bonus combat strength against independents. Yeah, I guess I'm going to go this way then. And presumably those are things that will be ours for the whole game, even through eras, since our leader never changes. All right, we received 100 culture for dispersing them. Our cultural exchange is completed. We knew that. And I guess we're scouting? We'll collapse, like... Actually, you know what? We'll collapse 2 slingers and 2 swordsmen on this army, and just kind of like position this guy in the general middle of our country, and we can use the 1 extra warrior to explore. Okay, so you're going to get over here and get adjacent. You are going to resettle here. Relationship changed with Isabella from friendly to helpful. So she likes that we dispense to hostile independent near another leader. Okay, that's cool. Our borders are touching, which is producing additional friction with Lafayette, which is not optimal, obviously. But yeah, overall, I think things are going really well. Here comes our second military commander, which is definitely feeling more like overkill now. That's someone from Champa, so apparently dispersing the village does not disperse all of the village's units. How do we... I just did this. There's a button for it, right? Yeah, there we go. Add to army. Add to army. Alright, they'll be ready to go pretty soon. You are just going to heal up so that you can get to exploring. I hope that makes sense. I hope that seems like a sensible thing to do. Producing our saw pit. We are producing over here also a saw pit, maybe, and then on to trying to get some wonders done before the end of the scenario. Let's put stuff down on the flat desert since we intend to build Petra. Okay. So it kind of seems like I want to just run up to here and kick everybody out. Deploy stacked units into adjacent tiles. Does that not go? Nope. Okay. I guess we're all out of moves is the problem. Alright, we'll put you up here. I don't want to like run forward any further and just get jumped on their turn, obviously. I cannot formally support this, so I will have to simply accept it. Okay, and now that we have all of our production buildings here, I mean, is it time to start building a wonder here as well? Let's try to get this thing completed. Must be placed on flat terrain. If we build it, we'll get a nice bonus whenever we finish any other wonder. Or does it? It says it includes itself, doesn't it? Yeah, including this one. Okay. That seems useful to me. Let's just have you skip the rest of the turn. You, I guess, should come down and grab that other warrior. And maybe we should end up putting together 2 armies worth of troops, you know? It's probably not the worst idea. Now, see, this is making me a little... What do you think you're doing over here? Methana volcano has erupted. Damage appears to be light. Another leader has started an endeavor with you. This we knew. Sure. I accept. I kind of wish there was a way to tell them, like, hey, could you maybe call back next turn? Okay, so now unpack ought to actually work. And I did not quite get them. This should do it, and our unit will be left with the tiniest sliver of health based on the prediction there. Okay. Working hard for my general. All right, well, we're working on a wonder now. I don't know that I necessarily... It is going to take an awfully long time to finish it at this rate. Okay, Lafayette wants an alliance. I mean, I think we have a good thing going here. I don't know formally what this means in terms of rules mechanics, but seems like a wise move to me. We are able to support open markets with Isabella, and I think I will. Turns out I have a lot of use for gold over here. Hey, here's a question. Can I purchase... No, you cannot purchase a wonder. Not allowed. But I could, like, purchase a library, which has 2 codex slots in it. Which is probably a pretty good idea. Could also purchase a monument, which cares about our terrain a little bit. Plus food for each adjacent coastal terrain, plus food for each navigable river, plus food for each wonder antiquity. Huh. Alright, I think I am going to take the library. So I want to save the spaces adjacent to the coast for my garden, apparently. Is there anything else that we need to, I mean, we get a library going here, too. Okay. That's probably a good use of some of that money. And now let's make sure we are showcasing everything. All right, science output is dramatically magnified. All right, everybody back in the army. That is a very handy thing for sure. So, like I say, I'm a little worried about these settlers trying to insert themselves into my area, and we're gonna just see if maybe we need to ride down one of their cities. Okay, so tell me about alliances. What's up? What's up with... Okay. Is that not... I can't believe that doesn't have a page. Diplomacy... Okay, you know what? We will not worry about it for the moment. Let's just push on here bravely. So I'm hoping we've seen the last of...
gathered, the elders gave their answer.
Hoping we've seen the last of those particular people. That particular independent. Let's change policies here. So I probably, yeah, plus 25% food in towns is definitely going to beat like 2 influence per turn. And then 50% production toward constructing culture buildings. Wonders don't count as culture buildings, probably, right? I bet they don't, but I wonder if I should test it. So we're getting 6 gold here. This one is only, like, these two are both only 2 points of resources, but I do think the production is probably more relevant for this moment. So I'm actually going to bump Charismatic Leader for drama and poetry. Yeah, mouse over this and get no useful information. It's fine. Okay, so were we to try to, say, master Code of Laws, get the ability to steal civics, like... Okay, literacy gains us a codex. And literature's not bad either. Nalanda, when you build Nalanda, you gain 1 codex, it has 2 slots, and it gives out an attribute point by itself. That's pretty compelling, actually. But I want mastery of citizenship. I want a bonus to wonder construction, even if it's going to take us a minute, a good solid minute to earn it there. So I probably want to let Petra get built by the city that has more desert tiles. The Wei Yang Palace is just science and influence. Plus Groat Wraith in all cities, plus the expansionist attribute point. You know, some hanging gardens would be all right. What are the? It just has to be built adjacent to a river. We certainly have the ability to take advantage of that. Oh yeah, there's a river. That's right. There's a river running under these tiles. Okay, so we'll finish the Great Stela, and then we'll finish another wonder immediately afterwards. That'll be a nice flush of gold. Coming over here to pick you up. Okay, so here are Ibn Battuta cities. Okay, I was just checking out our population relative to other players. Seems like we're doing all right. A little better than most, which I'm a little surprised by. So what do I want to do with this set of units now that we've run off all the intruders? I'm pretty sure. I don't know. We probably just like hang out somewhere in this area so that we can respond quickly to any part of the empire. Empire is a big word for the thing we have going here, but you know what I mean.
He was the first to construct a wall, 80 miles in length, which was to separate the barbarians from the Romans.
It's interesting that they just give you the same quote when you master attack as when you originally build it. They don't feel the need to improve that at all. Yeah, all right, let's start. Well, bronze working is not like super exciting. The wheel has a mastery of the wheel has a codex attached to it. Yeah, maybe it's currency. We can get a codex this way as well, but also some extra money. All right, you're coming over to pick up this guy who is very, very slowly healing. I guess I have no idea how far I am from like the South Pole, but I do feel like this is our standing army. Probably want them back here. Okay, as always, it's tempting to just keep going. There's so many little incremental victories in our near future, but I think this is where I am going to stop myself. We've got some direction now toward wonder building. Before we drop out here, let's just take a quick look at this. So 7 wonders in your empire gets you to a golden age here. 2 wonders completed is the threshold for the first couple of legacy points on this. So we're working on that. As far as military goes, we need a lot of settlements. Yeah, we would need to get to 6 settlements, but if we conquered one, we'd be at 5 already because conquered ones count double. So something to think about. 1 more codex gets us a scientific legacy point, and 1 more resource assigned to a settlement gets us an economic legacy point. So we're doing it. We're pushing forward. Yeah, we do have another one. We have gypsum right off of the current city, so hopefully we'll be able to expand into that. Yeah, overall, I'm feeling reasonably good about about the thing that we have going here. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We're digging into the systems a little bit more. It's happening a little slowly, but when you come back next time, I think we're going to take a pretty big bite out of the remains of this first era, especially now that we no longer have to worry about moving so many troops around. So into the future we go, and we'll see you then.